Hey, how's it going? In the next number of videos, I'm going to be discussing some of the investment opportunities here in UK. Those opportunities been picked from a government's website with upcoming programs going on in UK. Yeah, there are over 100 opportunities that I was able to find, but there are probably way more opportunities for people out there who are interested in investing perhaps in different opportunities. I'll be covering perhaps just a number of those since we're limited on time. First opportunity for investment that would be mining in Cornwall. I can understand that some of those opportunities are there. I have read in the books about how popular it used to be. Some of those books was written to more than 200 years ago, so it have started back then. But currently, just because of the demand of the markets, they're looking to bring mining back, I guess. This is what people are trying to do, right? Since some of those contracts might require for you to source all the materials if you can locally, right? For whoever, so whatever minerals your project would require, for example, lithium, cobalt, or similar minerals that you need to have access to just to produce anything that would be perhaps wind energy or perhaps batteries, all kind of different minerals what would be required for your business to operate ideally. This is what governments would be looking for business to do, to source everything locally if they can. 0 miles, right? So everything locally, and they're looking to perhaps invest in different projects that used to be completed within UK. As I mentioned, I'll be covering just UK with a number of those videos. Let's take a look at the official statement: mining in Cornwall. Key minerals and metals are needed to deliver in technology for UK's transition to clean energy by 2030, ideally. Most of the governments have that. Gonna need to transition and reduce the gas emissions, right? Carbon, overall carbon footprint. Either way, the transition to clean energy and Cornwall offers significant potential to provide them. So there is potential there. It's because I'm kind of biased. I know Cornwall very well. I'm kind of biased, but that's why I would like to cover this topic. But let's keep on moving. As the demand for clean energy technologies continue to grow, the requirement for minerals such as lithium and cobalt could increase by nearly 500% by 2050. I'm not entirely sure about the full process, right? Would be mining it as well as refining it. So perhaps for people out there, myself, I might be interested in less risky ventures, refining it. Not only these minerals, but in general, refining it perhaps would be less risky venture instead of mining anything. Would impact that might have on the environment, would all of those pushback from a local government. I have reached out to local government number of times, right? It's very hard to do business, perhaps with everyone, not necessarily with just that local government. But this is what they are doing, right? So they have a pitch that it's something that they can offer, and they would ask for business to reach out to them and do business. So they have all the facilities, all the equipment, all the minerals. They have them, but there is nobody who wants to do it for a very long time. Cornwall has a long and successful history of mining and rich mineral endowment. It offers investment opportunities in the exploration and extraction of many commodities required for manufacture of clean energy solutions. Perhaps it says it has long history, so great, right? So I'm not entirely sure if it's currently been done or have they stopped at any point, and now perhaps there's new technologies, new ways perhaps of mining it and sourcing all the raw materials from places like Cornwall, if that's an option. But I don't know if the contracts might be worth taking a look at some of those contracts. But usually there's a lot of obstacles with the local government, how much you would need to pay for them. You most likely most of the contracts have been structuring so you need to rent the property for 99 years or so, 999 to 999 years. So you need to rent it as well as look after the environment, look after the people, how expensive labor force can be, and perhaps with the new ways of refining it, something that was recently gained popularity within US, that will be fracking. I personally believe it's 2005 or so, 2000, yeah, about 2005 when it got started and the way how they begin fracking. So perhaps new ways of finding those materials in the first place, right? Sector and market opportunity. Cornwall's mining district has abundance of metal and mineral deposits that are seizable, accessible, and supported by a thriving mining service and supply chain. These technology and base metals found in Cornwall include copper, tin, lithium, cobalt, indium, zinc, tungsten, and silver. The region offers opportunities for investment in extraction of these metals and within associated supply chain developments. I'm interested in having access to those materials. I'm not entirely sure about how hard it can be. So far, it was very hard working with that government. So far, it was very hard. But perhaps that's my personal experience, right? Perhaps other people might find it a lot easier to work with those governments, including one that I'm discussing right now, right? Perhaps. Uh, I don't know how hard it is to work, as well as some of the obstacles why it might be very costly endeavor to enter, right? So would that be perhaps environmental obstacles or any other obstacles that most of the people might face? So I have done a little bit of research to find out what might be the biggest problems up there for everyone who might be interested in entering this sector, right? If anything, I don't know. If I need to start with a joke, right? Only thing that I'm not looking for, it can be that someone will come to a site and hug the tractor, and you won't be able to drive that tractor to mine anything, right? Unless the tractor would be controlled remotely, and that tractor will just mine stuff, I guess. I don't know, so I just don't want people up there on the side protesting against mining anything, right? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's cover in more detail about some of the potential challenges of entering this market. When mining metals and minerals deposits that are seizable, accessible, and supported by thriving mining services and supply chain, several challenges may still be encountered. These challenges can vary depending on the specific location, type of deposits, and various other factors, but some of those challenges include. Let's cover those. So, if any takeaways, let's take a look at if you were to manufacture anything. Not necessarily you would be up there offering just services, but if you would like to understand more about sourcing all the materials, what can be required, myself, I'm interested in finding out more about this process. Environmental and regulatory compliance. Meeting environmental regulations and obtaining permits for mining operations can be complex, time consuming, and costly. I personally believe that that's one of the reasons why myself it would take too much time. It's just because how hard it can be to get those permits. Even local organizations are promoting, oh yeah, come over here and do that, right? And then or to comply. Well, I don't know. They would say, "Oh, there's waters running on the ground, right? So you cannot distract those waters. I don't know. You cannot pollute those waters or anything. So how you can prevent that? they could they could give you a large list of things that you cannot do, right? So I don't know. But either way, let's be more optimistic. Compliance with the regulations related to water quality, air emissions, waste disposal, and land reclamation is essential. Okay, so this is what's happening. Safety and health. Ensuring safety and health of workers is paramount. Mining is inherently hazardous, and accidents can have severe consequences. Again, so it's high risk environment, especially it might be a cheapest way to extract all the minerals by explosions, right? If you need to dig through the rock, right? And you have a number of people out there. So either way, I don't know that much about the sector. Implementing robust safety protocols and providing adequate training and proactive equipment is crucial. Infrastructure development, developing infrastructure for transporting mine minerals, including roads, railroads, and ports, is often required for remote mining locations. Again, you would need to travel to, if you were to mine, you would need to travel to Plymouth, right, from Cornwall, where the Freeport is. People from Freeport and Plymouth is not responding to any emails. So again, it's been, I don't know, 8 weeks or more. No one's responding to me emails, and I have some information about the person who is. So it's faster for me to find the person who knows the person who knows the person, but instead of that person responding to emails. Establishing a reliable power supply and access to clean water is essential for mining operations. Geotechnical challenges, the stability of the mining site can be a significant concern. Landslides, sub- subsidence, and other geotechnical issues may pose risks to both personnel and equipment. There's a lot of, so it's very high risk environment, if anything, very high risk. Fluctuation in commodity prices. Metals and minerals prices are often subject to market volatility, which can affect the economic viability of mining projects. Again, if that wasn't enough, right? So since you would be competing on the world stage, right? Whoever can offer those materials at a fair market price on the world stage, right? So unless they would like to implement something with UK that you need to source all the materials from UK. I don't know, made in UK, whatever policy people might put together. But either way, other than that, I don't know if you are looking to begin something, how we can subsidize all of those operations and how fast the project itself would become profitable. Well, if you were to compete with markets, worldwide markets, right? All the other mining facilities up there. Resource depletion. As sizeable deposits are exploited, the remaining ore becomes deeper or of lower quality, required more advanced and costly extraction methods. So there's a lot of facts to consider. This particular area, so there's a supply chain, right? So we're discussing perhaps step one. If anything, myself, to protect yourself, I would prefer to discuss step two, right? So whoever brings the ore, you can then refine that ore. So that's way less risky endeavor. But either way, just because I'm thinking about the risk and overall my way of processing information, I would rather focus on not necessarily step one, but step two seems less risky endeavor. And perhaps if I would understand this process a lot better, I might be interested. But if anything, I'm doing research right now. I'm trying to understand it right now. Community and social acceptance. Obtaining social acceptance from the local communities where mining operations are located is critical. Conflicts with local residents can lead to project delays and shutdowns. Exactly. Exactly. I know so many good stories about Cornwall. I know so many good stories. But perhaps that's my personal experience. Perhaps other business people might have different experience in doing business there. But either way, perhaps one of the hardest obstacles because it's so recently I was discussing what was happening in Cornwall. How can potentially enter this market? How can we help support the local communities, right? So if those local communities are dispersed, not organized that well, perhaps they're in wider areas of Cornwall, right? So you yourself to enter those communities and reach out to those communities, you would need to reach out to a number of community leaders, right? It can be 24, 25, and they're having meetings. You need to reach out to those meetings. No response, by the way. I have reached out to them. No response. No one's responding to any of the emails, right? And we're having meetings. You need to raise any interest in any of the projects up there in Cornwall, and then you need to discuss those with the local leaders, and you need to gain their support. Good luck up there. But yeah, what I'm saying, this is what I'm already doing it, but. Labor and skill shortages. In some regions, finding skilled labor and experienced mining professionals can be challenging, leading to recruitment and retention issues. Again, there's not that many people there, right? We're still discussing Cornwall, right? Perhaps they have facilities to train professionals, but there's no people there. There's no there. I wish there would be more people there, but and if there are people there, you would be fighting other, I don't know, 4 or 5 businesses for labor force again. So I'm just discussing real life issues with this particular project, right? Equipment and supply chain. Ensuring a stable supply chain for mining equipment and consumables is vital. Disruption in supply chain can lead to project delays. Still hoping, I don't want to promote any particular projects, but they would develop some interesting equipment there that can be potentially operated remotely, right? Some of the problems have their internet connection in Cornwall, right? So I hope internet connection will get better there. Maintenance and repairs of heavy machinery used in mining operations can be costly and time consuming, especially if we're talking about computers, right? But before then, about 10 years back, you could to some extent repair those machines yourself. But now, some of those machines, if they're computers and you have insurance, we have all those obstacles that you would need to take that machine back to its vendor who can repair that, or professional would hold all the project for another 2 or more weeks, right? Unless you take out insurance, they can access remotely. But all the people would say that they're very costly, especially the way how they're operating those machines right now. Technology advancements. The mining industry evolving with advancement in automation, robotics, and data analytics. Keeping up with these technologies with ensuring work skill match evolving needs can be challenging, as well with geo scanning or whatever that might be, right? I don't know about scanning throughout the rock, right? But can you scan everything what's under underneath? And perhaps then you would optimize the drilling operations, everything. Perhaps that some obstacles there could be addressed, so that if there would be more attention towards this kind of direction based on how much interest. We're talking about 500% increase of demand for those materials, as well as locally sourced materials, right? Perhaps. For people out there who are interested in learning more, I have published a course. Within this course, I'm sharing a lot of information on where to begin, how to start, how to become more productive, effective when it comes to accomplishing your goals. If you have been set any goals, perhaps that's a good place to start. I'm covering this and other subjects as well. If you have goals, how to improve the way how you're setting goals for yourself as well. I have identified 12 different areas within this course. You can find so much value, which I personally believe is very important. Most of the things that I'm covering with this course haven't been taught in school, so It could benefit you greatly when you're deciding what to do next, where to begin. I have published this course in a number of different formats, PDF file, text, as well as video, audio. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Let's finish on this one, financial investment risk. So let's finish on this one just because it's already very long. Securing financing for mining projects, especially for long-term and capital investment endeavors, can be difficult. So you would need to source that finances from government, which for some reason has would need to be approved by Parliament within the UK, right? So to just to secure any of those, especially how much money are we talking about? Large sum of money, right? Because all this equipment, everything costs a lot of money, right? So potentially, as well as there would be some percentage that you would need to source yourself, right? So perhaps it would be more about 50-50, right? If you were to succeed in sourcing, depending on a lot of things, how many people would you be able to employ, as well as all the other issues, right? But how much of that money would you be able to secure yourself, right? If anything. Managing financial risk associated with fluctuating exchange rates and interest rates is essential, especially right now with how high interest rates is right now. It's about, I don't know, 8% or perhaps higher. So again, to do this kind of project, it depends. It depends. Again, I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps there should be more, if any, takeaways, right? Perhaps local government should focus a little bit more. We have received a lot of funding just recently. Uh, you can secure a lot of funding for doing any projects within Cornwall for up to £2 million currently. You need to write down a very good plan how you're gonna do it. I don't know, not particularly this kind of project, but they have local resources that they perhaps might be even interested to hold on to those resources, so they would be more valuable down the line 5 or 10 years from now, perhaps. So that's a real interest in what they're trying to do with how bad they are to responding to all the emails. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.